Hi guys, this is episode number 2 of Design with AI, and this is Simran Pandit, a product designer at ThoughtSpot. And today, here with me, we have Vidhunnan. So, yay, let's welcome him. So, Vidhunnan, this is
Hey,
all yours. The audience would love to know about you.
I like that with the chemistry, yeah. And when you bite back, who can remedy that? I'm into energy and telling the facts, tenderize my tendencies. Ribs, they better be back, so relax. I'm on the track, this right here's my home. I never act, so you feel my tone. You've been alone, oh no. Here we go again.
hey, thanks for having me, Simran. It's been a really honor to be on the show. And hey, everyone, I'm Vidhunnan. I currently am a lead product designer at Keka, which is a HR tech platform. And I take care of design systems, accessibility, and a little bit on the AI platform-wide initiatives.
Great.
That's me in a nutshell. Yeah, apart from it, yeah, there are other things which I think Simran will talk about it later.
Yes, for sure. So the theme for this whole show right today and this episode is going to be more about how we are going to bridge the design systems, coding, and AI all together, and how all three of these things can actually talk the same language. And this is exactly what each and every company in the industry is actually trying to experiment along with their teams, within design teams, front end team, and all that together. And that's exactly probably Vidhunan is going to take us through how we can do that, right? Because everyone is actually in the hit and trial era. So, let's imagine what if your design systems weren't just about documentation of components and colors and atoms, molecules, all that, but it could actually generate them as well, right? And that's what we have been doing and trying to do that. And what if all these files, specs, production code all spoke the same language? Vidhunan, we'd like to know from you because you have been I've been seeing you. I met you at a design conference itself, hosted by you only, and would love to know what you think. And you have been doing this with so many corporate industries and companies. So, what do you think now? How is it going in the industry today with the all this AI and design systems and the design teams?
Yeah, hey, that's a great question, right? Because I know a lot of companies are in a very trial and error, including myself, right? Like doing a lot of experiments and see where it is goes. But I think, but the flow or like the end, let's say that how can be done will vary from work to work because every framework is different. Whatever the language that every a dev can use is different, right? Like what how the frameworks are built, like everything is different. So you might need like a different solutions. For example, every AI or every LLM to act on anything, it's in context. So how do you provide that context? I think that's where like our main problem solving would be. And I think that's where like most of us like trying to figure out how we can figure it. That's where it's mostly going.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
And where do you feel the most friction is coming? Like in aligning the design systems and code together, what's the process where the friction is the most?
So I think the friction comes from the gap that exists between these two, right? Like from the workflow point of view and from the setup point of view, right? I think that's where like most of the solutions has to happen because once these things start getting connected, or once let's say for example what we have in let's say design, what we have in let's say in the coded library, once this started having like connection with each other, then after that AI can actually act on it. But for example, let's say like you have a design like a library, and let's say you've been handing off like a manually, right? And let's say the dev like a design system or the dev library is being handled manually. But now there is no like an intermediate layer which can connect. This is where the gap exists. If this gap exists, then AI might not be able to understand, okay, this is the Figma component, but what is the coded component for this?
Yep.
Like, how do you solve this, right? And also the other, like a problem on top of it, like, okay, what is the context? Because for example, let's say, that, hey, okay, I have a primary button, I have a secondary button, I have a tertiary button, but how AI will know
Yeah.
what button to use where when it is getting generated,
Yep.
right? So these kind of context needs for the LLM to act, or these are the basic fundamentals for any AI native system or AI native design system to be aware of to work properly. I think that's where like most of us are trying to solve. How do you add like context on top of it? How do you bring, let's say, like context to every single component.
A question that's coming to my mind right now. What do you use personally while you're working? Is it Claude, Cursor, or all of them together, or Figma Make? What is that you use mainly?
So for me, right, my tool stack is three are my primary tool stack, but actually to come there, I'll tell you a quick story because the context, that's where it matters, right?
Yeah.
Because I think when I started with, even before Figma Make, I think I started with Lovable.
Yeah.
I think Lovable is the first where I think I
Yes.
started because Lovable was at the time, it was very easy to use, and I think it was like so because it's also conversational, we are used to doing with, let's say, ChatGPT or Claude as a conversational platform, friendly to build like very minimal apps and things. So I think that's where it started.
Yeah.
But I think slowly, I think before that I used to even build Claude artifacts, like very very small artifacts I used to build, but those are like very minor. I think just HTML artifact. So I think those kind of things moved. Okay, then I think Cursor came where I was able to build, let's say, local hosted apps or like a very local powered, let's say, apps around it or like some program around it. That turned to like kind of use it. Then I think after I adapted to Cloud Code.
Okay.
But I think this is how it been. But right now I'm primarily use Cloud for anything, let's say, I use Claude to evaluate artifacts, but very primarily, okay, I want to get a synthesis of something where I want to share some data which I got synthesized or do some research.
Yeah.
But I want to share it very easy forward, right? I don't want to do a PDFs or like something where it can be just a small webpage where people can actually view. So something like that, I'll do Cloud artifact. If anything which is very specific that I want to like go, let's say for example, that I want to change something in our in very pinpoint I want to change it. I think that's why Cursor comes in, right? Because you can actually pinpoint and change and like do prompting.
Yep.
Which is what Figma Make also has, Lotus other also, but Cursor, because like there are like other let's say repository that I might have in the local system. That's why I kind of like use Cursor, which is giving me very pinpointed. And yeah, Cloud Code, when I have like a very like extensive something that I want to build, where let's say that I want to build a base of a program that I want to create, or something that I know, okay, I think Cloud Code will act faster here because I have like entire PRD or something where I can just give it to write it. That's where I think I've been using Cloud Code. I think this is how my workflow currently looks like. Like Figma definitely all the design, like let's say files and everything, where like it can, because I need like right now the visualization part or the creative part still exists in Figma.
Exactly. I mean, if I talk about my workflow and how it's been right now, so to get that definite screen, that output, you need to have some design, which you'd have to do on Figma. So I first come up with all the wireframes and the final designs on Figma. But I feel like most of the prototyping is something that I'm getting it done through AI, Claude or Cursor, right? And not even prototyping. Let's say I created key screens and then I just ask Cursor or Claude to make the follow-up screens to it and connect it, stitch it together, give me a working prototype for me to share it along with my design team or the PMs and everyone along. So that's how I have been like, my workflow has changed and I feel it's a lot faster now. Right? It's just that I just have to sit and wait for Claude or Cursor to work. I feel like, what should I do now for the next 10 minutes? You know what? I have also, I'm like seeing what's happening right now in the organization is actually being very mindful about the credits being used. So I'll tell you one instance, rather a story. What happened that, like, of course, we switched to Claude recently from Cursor. So Claude has this dashboard where it shows for a particular team who are the 10 top 10 users, right?
Yeah.
And I was in top 10 and then I was like, should I be proud of it or not? Is it a thing to be proud of? So this is what I've been seeing, that organizations are also trying to optimize on the usage of AI credits. So what do you think about that?
See, I think like two parts here. Yes, I think we have to be conscious of credits, like how we can improve it. Because I also used to have the same problem. I think when I started with a Claude in the beginning, even I remember even chatting with it, like this even before Claude Code even into picture. even just using the chatbot of Claude, I remember existing kind of I think my credits will be gone. Like my usage credit. This is even the chat.
Yep.
This is like way back. This is like
Yeah.
way back, like when Claude at the time, right? I used to feel like, okay, what should I do? I'll kind of move to let's say GPT or something to maybe do a little bit more. But right now, I think my prompting or how I kind of look at or how I kind of give exceptions to Claude becoming better, I would say, because in the starting I would be like it's very open, narrow, or like it's really very open-ended kind of a queries or like a prompts. But now I think my prompts are become very, let's say, narrow or very specific. So I think I was able to, let's say, preserve my credits to be an extent. And also, since I think a lot of things that I kind of remove to cluster sometimes, so I think I was able to maybe do it better. But apart from the other side, yes, we have to be little conscious because it's also like how much, let's say, because every token or every query has a cost to it, right?
Yep.
So how do you all save the cost? Because that cost actually the service has to run, and there's a whole, let's say, how much power we are going to use. So there's others Italian conversations too, right? So I think once we start to understand how we are working, and I think we can maybe be more conscious about our prompting and everything. Like, if you are doing something, let's say 2 to 3 times a day, you should automate it. So that is the somewhat like a guideline we kept. Okay, if you are doing it, then you should automate it. A lot of things kind of started from that way, that as a basic. A lot of things started off that way. Like one other example that I can give is you will be since I work with a cross-functional team. I'll talk to a lot of stakeholders on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Right. For me, to give what are the action items for every meeting, it's always for me hard to track. So, we use Granola, even we use Teams. But the thing is, when we use Granola, we give you action items. So what I do is I have a Claude skill every day at the day. I want to automate it, but right now I still run the thing. But basically, what it does is once I ask it to run it, it will just find out all my action items. It will convert that into it will actually push it to my to-do list.
Okay.
So, and also it will make sure it labels properly. For example, feature design system, or it is a strategy thing, or it is an execution thing. It will try to let us categorize those things also. So because of that, right now I have so much to-do list, which is kind of came from that. But it's kind of automated for me not to go through all the meetings and this is somewhat okay. Still, I want to automate it. I want to figure out, because right now there is no scheduled way in Claude, but I can do it in Power. But I still trying to figure out. So I would say everyone should be included, or everyone should be part of these activities once in a while.
Yeah.
And also I'll always see okay, there should be some kind of a cross-functional activity should also happen. For example, let's say we should pair a very different people from different squads or platforms to, let's say, work on something new.
Oh.
Right? So something like that. Right? There are 2 versions of it. One is which I would share for everyone on the team.
Okay.
This is the Claude attribute that I will share to everyone on the team. And what they have to do is they have to click on generate new card.
Okay.
Right? So now they have a card. But this is very design system specific bingo.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And what I have is so this is something what I have. This is my clue card.
Okay.
Right? So let's say if I start a new session, see it says click on next to begin, right? So next phase. So it is requested from DS. So now what I will what everyone else will do is let's see okay, whether this requested from DS exists on this bingo board or not.
All right.
It is not there, so they will skip it.
Oh.
Then, so meanwhile, I'll say so whoever asks it can actually click on it. So
Okay.
let's say, for example, duplicate conference, right? So let's say, for example, if I see duplicated conference, I don't think I see duplicate conference.
Yes.
Where is that?
No.
It's not there, right?
No.
So let's say it goes like this. For example, I will say next phase it goes like this.
All right.
So there are total of 98 phases exist, right?
Wow.
And let's say, for example, if someone is doing something, so it gets selected something like this. They might be clicking something like this.
Yes.
And let's say when someone got a bingo, It's become like this. So it will get automatically disabled and say, because you won, congrats.
Just remembered that during my internship at Cisco, and that was the time where actually AI was just entering the industry, right? So during that time as well, me and my colleague, we both together, we also conducted this sort of same activity, but it was more about AI principles at that time, AI and design principles all together. It was a similar bingo game, but that was on a different platform, bingo platform itself. And
Got it.
but this is something that you created on your own using AI. That's so crazy.
So, like for example, AI will work for you,
Yeah.
but you have to be very specific in what you want to build.
Yep.
You should have that idea, then you can actually use AI.
Yes.
Right? But if you go and ask AI for the idea, that's where like I think the dilution started happening. Right? I think that is not the right approach. The approach is like, okay, you have a very specific something that you can do it with AI.
Yep, true. And that's exactly, like recently I went to IT Patna, right, for this talk.
Yeah.
So my talk was basically around this only because all the students were so confused, like what's going on in the industry and how they should cope up with. So, I was just telling them this thing only, that use AI as your helping hand.
Yes.
Right, not as a competitor or anything. It's not going to take your job if you take it as a friend, right?
And never take the first output from the AI. Always.
True, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I have realized, that it's not really yet not really good at creating the very first versions, but it follows very well. It follow ups
True.
really well. So you just
True.
create. That's what I do. Create the initial screens or the key screens. Give it to AI, and it gives you the other follow up screens very well designed and everything, right? And that's where I feel Claude does a great job actually.
True. Yeah, absolutely. So other thing, right? Like, so how design documentation, or how we are like slightly helping Cloud for us to do some of the documentation. Also, right? So this is something that I did also recently. So for example, there is this upload activity, or let's say some progress. Like basically, we want to show how a long running progress works with Shimmer. That is the idea. So how do you because Shimmer we can't do it in Figma, right? If you want to do it, you have to do multiple levels of prototype.
Yeah.
But and let's say in any web-based thing, it's just a small like a transition. So how we show it, right? So these are a couple of things that what we also identify. Okay, this is something that we can show. And also, for example, like somewhat that you want to show like a file upload or something. Let's say that if I want to put a small file somewhere, let's say that I want to just put a file. So, like see this, right? Like for example, this is very over engineered thing, but basically we want to highlight. Okay. See, there's some highlight is happening in the Dropbox.
Got it.
And also see, for example, it is extended to one limit, right? So we want to show that something like this, so that, like, for example, right? For example, if this one is done. Right? So we want to, and also we can click on close and like things like that, right? So when we put it, and also if you put it multiple things, so minimum recommend. So how do you show on this? So we started experimenting with this, and it's easier for us to even communicate these ideas to any stakeholder.
All right. So is it mainly for product managers to just showcase your idea? Or is it like really handoff, like this is the done design, this is...
I mean, it's actually in both ways. Some of the things we have done is like a handoff. Some of the things are just to express our ideas.
Okay.
Right? It goes both ways. Like, for example, I remember there is one model which I couldn't find it, where we were doing like a small redesign of buttons. And I want to show how a progress of a button, or like if you click action, let's say the button has a small progress inside built. How that is. So those kind of things we consider handoff, but not a handoff which can be used in production. More like a handoff from the documentation point of view.
Got it. Because even I feel the same way. What we have been doing is mainly showcasing all these ideas or iterations through such ways, and then we turn it into designs, of course, because we have to use the exact components that are there, and because it's still not been fully translated into code or storybooks right now, that we are still building. And Yeah, after that, the handoff still happens through Figma designs only, but the
Hmm.
prototype or the interactivity, if someone wants to have a look at, and even the eng, so we just proceed with the Versal prototype.
Actually, like my way of doing it is like actually I dictate a lot of things.
Yes.
So, like whenever I want to make a prototype, whenever I want to make some like I'll actually dictate. Just I'll like open the mic, I'll start dictating
Yep, yep.
it, which actually gives or like at the time I think my ideas like conveyed much faster than me when I'm trying to type it.
Great. I mean, with that, I would like to, give this another AI tool that I've discovered again within my firm is Whisper Flow, right?
Hmm.
You must have heard about it, and I really find it really amazing. I mean, it doesn't only transcribe whatever your audio is, it actually articulates and make the whole text so great.
Like Whisper Pro is so good. I use something called a monologue.
Okay.
The advantage of monologue is it's locally powered LLM.
Okay. What does that mean?
So the processing happens in your machine.
Oh.
It's not cloud processing.
Oh.
So and also I think even Whisperflow has the same set of features, but there's a Whisperflow does it on cloud.
Okay.
But I do it on like a local machine which is called Monologue. So yeah, so also like I think both of them only difference is like cloud and like a local processing. That's the only difference.
Got it. So, do you think like having it on cloud is, or like having it on a local machine is better than having it on cloud?
I think it's a personal preference.
Yes.
I think it's a personal preference. Yeah.
True. All right. I guess we are like very near to our end to this episode, and with that, I just want to ask you one last question around this: is uh, what do you think we as designers actually should be doing and working on as skills
Oh,
to
okay, that's
be
a tough one.
relevant?
That's a tough one. But like, see, but the general norm or the idea, what I am seeing is roles are overlapping and the boundaries are actually blurring very fast.
Yep.
For example, for example, since I work on design systems, a lot of things what I do actually a PM can do. For example, getting alignment, getting roadmap ready for design system,
Yep.
and also making sure, for example, what is going to come in the rest of other verticals that we have and what to need for design systems to be aware of, right?
Yep.
So a lot of things actually covers like for me, it's been from the beginning we started covering it, and right now actually designers also kind of hey, we should build this feature, we should actually treat this product in this way, right? We are actually going there also, right? So, thing is like, I think the roles are slightly blurring. We have to, the skill I think we should be very aware of some things. One is, how do you build your design taste extensively?
Yeah.
Right? That is,
Yes.
I think that is where, like as designers, we can be differentiated. Like what are the good design would look like? How to build a good design?
Yep.
Right? That is something. And other thing is like also understanding what user needs. How do you solve that problem? At the end of the day, whether it's a product manager, designer, or a developer, we all are trying to solve a very specific problem.
Yep.
Right? For example, product manager will be a business problem.
Yes.
For us, it will be how do you solve a business problem which user needs and how do you kind of blend it together
Yeah.
with the implementation which is possible with the right?
Yes.
So, and developers, how do you, based on what is, like, how do you solve the user with the business logic and things, that is what the developers thinking about this problem. So everyone is good in their problem solving skills. Now we slightly have to think a little bit outside, what if we want to solve more? Which part that we have to take, I think that is that, and how do we solve the problem with our words?
Us to be taken care of is what problem do we solve? Because of course there are enormous number of problems there, right? It's just that we need to understand that impact versus effort criteria matrix, and based on that take like a very deliberate decision there, right? So that decision making is still yet in our hands. that we should be taking care of. And I remember you shared that Claude doc with me, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it
Yes.
was written there, which really I aligned with it so much, and it's like still with me, and I guess it's going to be with me forever now. AI is going to make 1,000 screens today, but it doesn't know its worth, and it's your job, so yet
Yeah.
relevant.
Yes. So yeah, just to add on that talk, right? I think that actually came from my NID workshop.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Crazy, it was so fun talking to you and having all these insights, new fun tools that you actually introduced me with, and probably gonna share it with my team as well.
Awesome. Happy. Yeah.
Yes, and I hope like if this episode is helping you think differently about design systems and all, then share it with someone who's building products and also across your team as well. So thank you so much,
For sure.
Vidhu. I'll
Thanks
call
for
you
having
Vidhu.
me. Thanks for having me. It's been a great pleasure talking to you.
Yes, crazy.